Hey guys, it's John with Pro HPB TV. We just got back from World Cup this morning, and we're going to do a quick run through for the DM14. Kind of show you what some of the new changes that they've made and how easy it is to really clean it now and work on it and maintenance and all that good stuff. You've got your traditional case here, normal cardboard, little cover. The one that we got from the tech class was blue with lime. So of course you've got your barrel, traditional, ultralight front and back, die multi-tool, your die grease, colored O-rings parts kit. Does come with a nice manual. Flip it over, your warranty card, your barrel sock, and then of course the gun itself. I believe this case is identical to last year's case, maybe a little bit bigger. So just like before, the die multi-tool pretty much takes care of everything you need on the gun. The look overall is pretty great. They've really made some changes compared to 2012 to 2013. Of course, completely hoseless finally. The regulator here, nice rubber grip. LPR still in the front, adjustable right through here. HPR, high pressure regulator, still adjustable through here for your chrono. And the newest, greatest thing I think that they could have done is the push button bolt removal. Push it and pull. All it does on the bottom here is when you press it, it moves this little rod forward and backwards. The bolt is a little bit different. Apparently they made some changes on some of the holes that are drilled in here to make it a little more efficient. They've also changed the inside diameter here and made it a little bit larger, I believe, so it's better for airflow and softer on the paint. Die guns have always been pretty soft on paint, so you should be able to shoot whatever you need to. As far as this piece goes, one thing that I really like, that of course we always have issues with, guns over time, they'll wear out, they'll stick, you'll have a hard time getting the bolt out. For some reason, if this gets stuck inside of the gun, they've drilled it all the way through the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that. So once you actually put the bolt back in place, put it in, press it, it's going to go forward, release. You can actually be able to go through and take that little metal rod out with an Allen wrench so the bolt assembly will come back out. We did ask if this can come out when it's aired up. We were told yes it can. So be careful whenever you're taking it apart. If you do have air left in the gun, or if your air tank is still on, you should really make sure, of course, that your air tank is always off before you work on gun. But we were told that the furthest it'll shoot out is about this far here, and then of course all the air is going to vent out around it. So it shouldn't rocket it through the air or anything like that. The back looks pretty cool. The normal bolt system that moves, you can see it on the inside. So any of the venting will come out through the hole. Everything about this gun is really clean. They've done a really good job of making sure that it keeps that look and the stylish look that Die's always had. If you look here on the back side, you can see the little gap, basically a little lip that it has to hook into place. So when you slide it in, it slides in and then it locks into place. Of course, now that you have the gas through the frame, a lot of people always complain that you can't slide this on off back and forth. Well, on the die gun you can. Take your toolkit here, and there is a set screw here on the bottom that allows you to take this completely off, but the one you really need to adjust to slide it forward and backwards is on the right side of the gun. It's the hole right here. And I believe it's the 1/8 Allen wrench. You want to loosen it up, maybe quarter turn, half a turn, and now your ASA will slide forward and backwards. So it's not a huge adjustment, but it's probably about at least a half inch, quarter inch to half inch of play. So if you like your gun a little bit longer, you've got it. If you want it shorter, you can do that as well. All you want to do is tighten this down, snug it up, don't crank down it too much, and it's not going anywhere. As far as the screw on the bottom, you don't ever really need to touch this here unless you're trying to clean the inside of the gun or clean between the two parts here. That's pretty much it. Your traditional on-off here, it does feel like they've made a few changes, so it is easier as far as locking into place. It seems like it's bigger, so you can get your hands in there compared to the NT Airport. That's kind of hard to do, especially when you have gloves on. The buttons are a little different this year. They feel pretty much the same, but the way they actually work on the inside is different. There is a circuit board now that is inside the frame here, and instead of having a long circuit board that goes in the back here, it's all been chopped up to about right here. The grips are a little hard to take off compared to other ones, so I'm gonna try this real quick. So I've done it a handful of times since we picked the gun up at World Cup, so it's eased up a little bit. So once you get it, it'll be able to break it in, no problem. Same snap grips on an NT, pull them off, and everything will come off as normal. On this side here, you can see there's a circuit board right inside there with a membrane wire, not like the old one for the die gun, the old DM4s. You notice how much smaller the board is here as well. On the right side is where the battery goes. Same trigger mechanism. One of the things we really like, everybody hated those battery prongs you have to worry about, the spacer falling out or even having a spacer. There's now a wiring harness, a battery harness in here. It's the same harness that goes in the die assault matrix, the DAM. So for stores, carry one part, you're set, ready to go. You have problems, you're good to go. Or if you own both guns, you need to interchange them, you can do that as well. This is the screw you're adjusting to adjust the ASA back and forth. There is a small screw that holds this board in place. For some reason, if you ever need to take it apart, we recommend do not, unless of course you're trying to clean in there, but even then, if it works, leave it alone. So pretty straightforward. You can see how thin the frame is, just like the NT frame, at least it feels that way. To take the grip frame off, just two simple screws, one here and one in the front. Once that comes off, it has a solenoid inside of here. It looks just like the old, I want to say DM6, DM7 solenoid, which was one of, in my opinion, one of the best solenoids they ever did. Fewest issues. I remember on like a PM6, I believe, as well. Same thing, never had any issue with them before. The grip here can come off. There's one screw here in the front. Here's the LPR hole, and here's the actual hole right here for the red grip. What you want to do is take that screw out, and then what they told us is you have to take a credit card or like a hotel room key card or something like that, and there's a little tab that pops out. So you kind of slide it down a little bit, work your way in there, and then you'll pop each side of this out. Of course, don't use a screwdriver, you'll scratch up your body and whatnot. But once you get that screwed, loosened up, this, it literally slides right down, and there's a straight regulator here. But the best part is, that I haven't showed you yet, is how easy it is to take apart the regulator and the LPR if you ever need to service them at all. So this part really never needs to be taken apart. And you don't have to completely unscrew this regulator to take it off. You don't have to have two giant Allen wrenches to take it apart. It's pretty basic, pretty simple what you need to do. Traditional eye pipe, I believe, good to go here. Same way the eyes install on the inside of it. Of course, slide the eye pipe back in place. You're good to go. And if you ever need to service the regulator, you're going to take the largest Allen wrench on your multi-tool. Here, turn it upside down. There's a small hole inside. Unscrew it until it comes out. You do have a shim stack in there, so be careful when you pull it out. But your reg seat and everything you need is inside this little capsule. Inside of here, you do have your shims, your shim stack and the piston that you need the lube, so you'll need small Allen wrench, or sorry, small needle nose to pull it out. But between that piece inside and this here, that is your regulator. Your LPR is the same as the HPR here as far as taking it apart. Once you unscrew the small screw, slide the frame, the grip cover off of it. It'll also have something very similar to this inside of it that will come out. Very easy to clean, very easy to maintain. You've got the small O-ring that we tend to have issues with in the regulator. It's right there, easy to replace. You don't have to have, it doesn't look like you're gonna have to have a long Allen wrench to try to get in there and try to pop it in place. So once you get the regulator apart, if you want to change the reg seat inside of it, it is so simple. You're gonna take the smallest Allen wrench on your multi-tool. There are gonna be 3 set screws here on the side. Make sure you don't lose these. Also, make sure you're using the 100% correct Allen wrench size, which is 0.05 inch, I believe. You can check your manual. Unscrew all 3 of those. And as you can tell, I don't know if you saw that, but the cap, the regulator cap actually fell out. It's a little piece. See it here? It sits right on top of here. And the set screws, you see it? These set screws actually go into the side of it here to hold it in place. So as you put it in, it all goes in. It's confusing maybe on camera. Once you get the 3 set screws and the cap out, all you have is your velocity adjuster screw. Take your 3/16 Allen wrench, the one that you use to adjust your velocity. And there is your velocity adjuster screw. You can see all the way through the capsule here, the regulator assembly. And of course, if you want to change this, you have to take like a sharp pick that comes in here and stick it in there. Careful not to stab yourself. Replace the reg seat, press it flat, make sure it's all the way in there. Also, if your regulator is leaking out the side, it's going to be the small O-ring inside of here 99% of the time from our experience on the older regulators. That one is kind of a pain to put in, but now that you don't have to reach super far down into a regulator, this should be a lot easier to put into place. If you're ever confused, of course, check your manual. If you are wanting to rebuild your LPR, it's the exact same way. The only difference is you have to take the regulator cover off in order to get to the LPR, where on the hyper regulator you do not. So reg seat goes back in there, reg cap goes in there, and does not look like there is a wrong or right way to put the cap back in place. If your shim stack falls out on you, like mine did, double check with your manual how to put it back in place. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shims inside your stack. So make sure you put those in there correctly. If your LPR piston or your regulator piston does not come out whenever you take out the carrier, the reg carrier, you just use a small pair of needle nose and slightly pull it out. That's pretty much going to be everything to maintain your regulator, your LPR. You guys saw how easy the bolt is to assemble. We did get to shoot one of the Ironmen, the Die Sponsor Pro Team, one of their guns at World Cup. Was extremely happy with it. Very smooth. It's supposed to be more efficient based on what we were told. A very consistent shot, of course. I mean, you can really expect the most from Die. I know some of you guys are anti-Die because of the last couple years, and I agree with you on that. They should have made changes earlier, but now that it's here, I think you're going to be extremely happy with it. Store owners or you guys that work at stores, you hate working on hyper regulators, you're not going to anymore. This is amazing. This is absolutely awesome with how easy it is to take apart and clean now. All right, well, if you guys have any questions or comments, please make sure you post below. Please share our video. We will have all of these in stock at prohpb.com. If you guys have any questions about the gun, we did get to shoot it a little bit. We will try to shoot it again and make a video for you. If you want any recommendations, we try to stay as unbiased as possible. We shoot all types of guns. We sell all types of guns in our store. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, John, John, at proedgepaintball.com. If there's anything else you want to know about the dye gun, please let us know. Of course, we haven't got to play with it yet, like in a game, so I can't tell you too much about that, not till probably this weekend or the next. But if you have any questions, comments, any other information you'd like to know, please let us know. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe. Thanks a lot.